8. You got 2 more. Oh, come on, 2 more. 2 more. Attaboy. Come on, 2 more. You can't make them laugh. Good, you're done, you're done. Good morning, guys. How you doing? It's me, Ryan, here with your 5th installment of your bodybuilding series. Today is going to be your 2nd push day. With me, as always, I got Kanoa here, ready to work out. Up on the screen, I got your workout for the day. As you can see, we still have 4 movements. Today's going to be a little bit different than our last push day. I'll explain it when we get there. But before we do anything, we're going to get you guys warmed up, all right? So today I'm going to have Kanoa start off with the kettlebell. All I'm going to have him do to start is we're going to go about a minute straight of kettlebell swings. You can go ahead and start swinging. Yeah, we're going to go a minute straight of kettlebell swings. You guys at home, the reason I have them only doing a minute is just because obviously we're on a little bit of a time crunch. You guys are more than welcome to go 2, 3, maybe even push it to 5 minutes of non-stop kettlebell movement, right? Obviously, as you progress, as you get a little bit more fit, we're going to keep challenging ourselves in all aspects of our workout, not necessarily just our weightlifting part, right? So I'm going to have Kanoa just doing regular Russian kettlebell swings. Cole, if you can see this, you see he's pushing his hips back, big squeeze in his glutes. He's using those hamstrings. He's only coming up to about chest height. I don't necessarily want him going up overhead. It's just kind of a little bit more room for error when we're going overhead. So for today's purposes, and honestly for all my workouts, we're really just going to go to chest height. Big squeeze in those hips. I know that today is an upper body day. It's a push day, so a lot of people would assume that you wouldn't really necessarily need to warm up your lower body, but that in fact is not the case. A lot of our drive and a lot of our strength and power in the bench press is actually going to come from our glutes and our core driving up through that barbell, all right? So we're going to assume that Kanoa's been going about a minute now. I think he's starting to sweat already. I think he might be a little bit tired. So I'm going to go ahead and have him drop that kettlebell, relax, and I'm going to actually open up his shoulders. So I'm going to give him this PVC pipe. I'm going to have him grab it nice and wide, almost kind of like a snatch grip, if you guys are familiar with a snatch with a barbell. Yeah, so it should be right here about waist height. You see he's got long arms, so he's nice and wide, and all I'm going to have him do is just open all the way up, come back, and come forward. That's it. Nice and easy. Good. So as you can see, if you come over here, get a side view, Cole, Kanoa's real tight right back here. Look at, he's really struggling to get this PVC pipe back and over his head. Look at. Yeah. So a big factor in strength is actually going to be flexibility and mobility. We can never achieve, right, maximum strength. We never really get strong if we don't have the ability to move, right? So that's why it's so important that we take time, 10, 15, 20 minutes even, to really warm up properly, so that way our workout is 100% effective and we're actually getting the most out of it. So I'm going to have him go ahead and do like 10 more reps here. Actually, I'm only going to have you do 5. We're only going to do 5. Good, good. Now I want you to try, so when you come up and over, try and keep those ribs down just a little bit, so we're still keeping proper posture. Unlock your knees just a little bit. Good. Good, good. All right, I'm going to take that PVC pipe from you. Now, his shoulders are a little bit warmed up. His heart rate's elevated. What I'm going to have him do now is what are called Turkish get-ups. I'm sure most of you guys are probably familiar with it. Those of you guys have taken lifts before. Kanoa hates them, so he's already kind of upset about it. But I'm going to walk you guys step through step, just kind of what the Turkish get-up would be. I'm not going to have him do more than 2, 3 reps just because they are kind of time-consuming. So I'm going to have you go ahead and lay back. Good. So I got him. He's got a fairly light kettlebell now, right? So I'm going to have you bring this knee up. Good. This foot's going to be flat. So what I'm going to have you do is bring this arm out to the side. So this arm's at about 45-degree angles. His right knee is bent. His right arm is up. I want his left foot pointing straight up at the sky, right? So now what I'm going to have him do, step 1, is we're just going to prop him up to his elbow. Good. Right? Now from here, he's on his elbow. I'm going to have him prop himself up onto his hand. Good. Step 3, we're going to drive through this foot and bring those hips straight up. Good. So now we have room, right? We have room to work here. I'm going to have him bring this leg all the way through to his knee. Good, good. Now from here, I'm going to have him sit up tall. And our final step, we're going to stand all the way up. Good. So we're warming up our core, our shoulders, our legs, a little bit of everything here, right? And now the beauty of it is that we get to do the exact same thing on the way down, right? So we're going to go down to a knee, come down to our hand, bring this leg all the way through, sit down, elbow, all the way back down. Good. So now I'm gonna have him do one more on the other side just to even him out. Here, go ahead, switch arms. Oh. Sorry, I'm not gonna make you work too hard today. Good, so now that it's on his left arm, we're gonna switch legs, good. Here, Cole, I'm gonna get a side view of this one, just so that way you guys saw it from that angle first. Now I'm gonna have you get a side view of this one. So, 45-degree angle right here between his arm and his torso. Same knee, same hand. I'm gonna have him prop up to his elbow. Good. Hand. Good. Drive up through this foot. Bring that leg all the way through to a knee. Sit up nice and tall. And then we're gonna stand all the way up. It's important that while we're doing these, we actually hit every single step. It's not about how fast we're doing it, but it's about how perfect we can get each and every single rep. Good, Kanoa. Elbow, and then we're gonna lay all the way back down. Good, good, go ahead. Relax. Now you guys at home, you guys can go ahead and pause this video, and I actually want you to get anywhere from 3 to 5 reps on each side before we actually move on to our first exercise, right? So you go ahead and pause that. Last thing I'm gonna have him do before we actually get into the bench press is I'm gonna move us over to our actual setup here. I'm just gonna stretch out his shoulders just a little bit more, and then we're gonna get into it. So our first movement is going to be a barbell flat bench press. Now, if you guys don't have access to a barbell, you're more than welcome to use dumbbells. But lucky enough for us, we're here in Afterburn South Bay facility, and we kind of have access to a little bit of everything. So today we're gonna be using barbell bench press for our first movement. What I'm gonna have Kanoa do, Cole, if you come over here, or just pull over right here, is we're just gonna have him warm up his shoulders. So I'm gonna have him put both elbows here on the bench. His knees are gonna be back behind him. And all I'm gonna have him do is just push his head down below his shoulders, right? We're just gonna hold that stretch for about 30 seconds, then we're gonna get into it. So go ahead. Good, so here I'm gonna put your hat backwards there. So we're gonna scoot back just a little bit. I want your head, good, there you go. Good, so now we're stretching all through that T-spine. Good, try and point your palms up towards the sky.
I'm trying.
So you can see Kanoa's lats are real tight, his shoulders are a little bit stiff. So this is something, it might not necessarily look perfect your first time doing it, but this is something that should slowly improve throughout your fitness journey, right? Just the same way as you're hitting PRs and you're hitting new, rep maxes, whatever, your mobility should be increasing as well. So all right, go ahead, relax. Go ahead. All right, so we're gonna set Kanoa up. We have 3 sets of 8 today, all right? So we're not doing 8 to 12. Today, you guys should have kind of figured out what your 8 rep and what your 12 rep range is last week when you guys did this. So today I want you guys to focus on 4 solid sets, excuse me, at 8 reps, all right? So for Kanoa today, we're gonna put him at 155. So we're gonna do a 45 and a 10 on each side, all right? Good. All right. Now we're gonna have Kanoa go ahead and set up on the bench. So one thing I want you guys to see at home, come over here, Cole, is when Kanoa sets up for his first set of barbell bench press, I don't know if you guys can see it from this angle, but his eyeballs are right in line with the barbell, right? So his eyeballs are in line with the barbell. He uses these rings right here on the barbell. So I'm sure you guys have noticed that barbells have texture. Called knurling, right? So it's smooth, and then there's texture, and then there's these rings where it's smooth again. You can use these rings to make sure that every time you set up on the bar, you have the exact same grip, right? Because the worst thing we can do is set up uneven, and all of a sudden you bring the weight off, and all the weight falls off. So Kanoa's gonna set up, he's gonna make sure he's nice and even. Eyes are gonna be parallel, or even with the barbell. From here, he's gonna take a nice, big, deep breath. He's gonna lock everything in, he's gonna lock his core in, he's gonna be driving. His feet are gonna be flat. He's gonna be squeezing through his butt. His core is gonna be tight, and he's gonna crank out 8 solid reps. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Good, come on. Good. So it's controlled on the way down and explosive on the way up. Good, again. Good. 5. Let's get 3 more. 7, 1 more. Good, good. Now before you let go of that barbell, I want you guys to come look at something. So when Kanoa sets up, I don't know if you guys are able to see that, but you see how his thumb isn't wrapped? So that, to me, what I've been taught is this is what's called a suicide grip, right? Because our hands are holding on to the barbell, then all of a sudden, one wrong move and that barbell's right here on his throat. So I always have my athletes wrap their thumbs, right? I know it seems kind of simple, but it's all about safety, right, Kanoa?
Right.
So I don't know if you guys see, but I got a timer running right now. We are gonna hit this every single 60 seconds. So every 60 seconds, we're gonna go right back into another set. Kanoa's got about 30 more seconds here before we get into it again. And we are gonna stay at this weight for all 4 sets. You guys didn't see it, but off camera, we actually had him warm up with just the barbell and then a barbell and 10, barbell and 25, and we actually worked him up to get to this weight. It's important that we don't just jump into what our 8 rep max would be, right? So make sure you take the time to actually warm up before you get into this weight. But for the sake of the video, I don't want to show you guys that boring stuff. And Kanoa didn't want to show you guys him, lifting that super lightweight anyways. But 30 seconds has passed, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into our second set here. Good, so pinch those shoulder blades together. Feet are flat on the ground. Good, big breath. Good, drive that weight up. Good, slow and controlled on the way down. Good, squeeze your butt. Good. Good, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, good. Now, I'm not having him work any tempos or any pauses or anything like that because I want it to be a true 8 rep max, right? I want him to really, really hit 8 solid reps and be completely fatigued after those 8. If he were to able to, let's say, do like 10-second negative, pause, and then drive up again, I would be adding more weight. Mostly just because I want him to really focus on strength in this first movement, on this first compound movement, before we get into some of our volume work. So I'm gonna have him rest for about another 40 seconds here, and then we're getting to this next set. How you feeling, Kanoa?
Pumped.
Pumped. Good, so we got about another, what is that, 30 seconds? 30 seconds?
And like Ryan said, don't do the suicide grip. I've just done that for years. I've gotten used to it. And honestly, it's mostly because of my wrist. So I usually like that suicide grip. I can't hold the weight with my wrist over thumb stuck.
So here's another thing, right, is when he's doing the suicide grip, you see how my wrists are folded backwards like this? Now, what happens is if I'm driving force through my forearm, right, and all of a sudden I'm driving up through that barbell, I'm gonna be losing force through my wrist, as opposed to if I can flip my wrist over, now all that force is gonna be driving straight through my forearm into that barbell, straight up, right? So it might be minor, but as we start moving up into that 200, 300, maybe even 400 pounds of weight for the bench press squat, all those little things are really gonna matter. They're gonna add up and they're gonna be compounding, especially as we increase in weight. Today at 155, he can get away with it, but next week when we're at 315, I don't know, right?
Next week?
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Good, big breath.
All right. No suicide today.
Good. Attaboy. 2. Eight. Good, good. So I know it's a little awkward for Kanoa, obviously, you know, working out, being filmed on camera, but it's super important to remember, right? Every time that we set up for our exercise, set up for a new set, that we are actually doing each and every rep with intent, right? So we're going into each and every set with the attitude that we are going to crush this next set, that we are going to put 100% maximum effort into our next set, right? Because that's gonna be how we kind of gauge our progress, as opposed to if we kind of just go through the motions, it's kind of easy to just get washed out, especially when you're doing the same thing week in, week out for months, years even. So it's really important, like if I was his spotter, let's say we weren't on camera, right? And me and him were working out in the gym together, it's important. My job as a spotter is to make sure that he's completely focused and tuned in before each and every set. And then it's his job to make sure the same for me, right? So even if you guys are working out on your own, find a way to kind of stay focused and just get the most out of each and every set. We got about 10 more seconds here before we finish this 4th set. If you guys at home need a little bit more time in between each set, you could push it all the way to 90 seconds. But here for Kanoa, we're only doing 60 seconds because, you know, he's fine. All right, you ready for this last set?
Yeah.
Good, lock it in. Big breath, up, attaboy. Good. He's keeping a good 45-degree angle between his upper arm and his torso. Good, each rep is controlled. He's breathing, his core stays tight. He's squeezing his glutes, driving through his legs. Good, one more. Good, good, attaboy. Good, so we're gonna go ahead, take this weight off the barbell for him. So, unlike last week where we went into a superset right after our first compound movement, can you really hold that 45 pound with, I'm actually, that's so impressive.
Forearms.
Can we just take a second? That was crazy. Okay, anyways. So last week we went into a superset right after our first heavy compound movement. This week we're actually gonna focus on another compound movement. So we just did our heavy flat bench press. Now we're gonna move into 6 sets of dumbbell incline bench press. And we're actually gonna use a little technique. We're gonna switch it up just a little bit here. So we're still gonna keep the volume high, except instead of doing 2 exercises, we're just gonna focus on 1 movement. Thank you. So we're lucky enough we have these benches here that we can adjust the height fairly easily on. So what I'm gonna have Kanoa do today, and I guess what I'm gonna have you guys do at home, is we're gonna increase the incline with each set. So we have 6 sets total. So we're gonna do 3 sets on the way up. So our first set will be here, 2nd set, 3rd set, and then we're gonna work 3rd, or 4th, 5th, and 6th. So we're gonna work 3 up, 3 back down. We're gonna stick it around 10 reps. I got Kanoa a pair of 45s here. This is about 50 to 60% of what his like 5 rep max would be with normal dumbbells, right? So we're really not pushing the weight. We're still just gonna be focusing on volume, but really we're focusing on angles, right? So we're gonna start with a low incline. We're gonna work up to a fairly high incline, and then we're gonna work back down, all right? So it's been about a minute. I'm gonna have you go ahead, set up on the bench here. And just because it's incline bench doesn't mean that the form changes, right? So his back is still nice and tight. He's still gonna be driving through his glutes. Feet are gonna be flat on the ground. 45-degree angle between his upper arm and his torso. Good, yep. Go ahead, come on back. We're gonna go 10 reps here. Good, good. Make sure you stay breathing. His thumbs are wrapped. Good. 2, 3, good. 5, good. Good, keep those feet flat. Good, 2 more. Good, 1 more. Good, go ahead, relax. Good. So he just finished his first set. I'm gonna give him about 60 seconds rest, but while he's resting, I'm gonna pop this bench. We're gonna go 1 more incline, all right? So now we're a little bit higher. The angle's gonna change just a little bit, and then we're gonna get him into his next set, right? So we still got about 40 seconds before he gets into it. So this will be kind of a good time for me to explain something. The reason why I'm kind of focusing so much on Kanoa making sure that he squeezes his butt when he's doing his bench press is that a lot of times as the weight gets heavier, a lot of people will tend to have kind of happy feet, right? Their feet will jut out or what have you. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that when people are bench pressing, it gets heavy, their feet kind of doing wonky stuff. It's because their glutes aren't engaged. So if I can squeeze my butt and I lock everything in, now I have a firm base coming from my feet all the way up as I drive into that weight up into the air, right? So for those of you guys, or you're spotting your friends are doing happy feet like that, make sure you cue them, squeeze their butt. Because most people don't think to squeeze their butt when they're bench pressing. Like, why would I squeeze my butt, right? But that's gonna be the difference between those guys who are benching, 100 pounds versus those guys who are benching maybe 300 pounds. So it's been about a minute. We're gonna get Kanoa into his second set. Go ahead, come on back. In this exercise here, it's important that we only stay at 60 seconds because we're really focusing on volume here. Good. Kanoa's doing a really good job of controlling that weight on the way down and the way up. 3, good. Now I know you guys can't do this at home, but I've just got 3 fingers right here on Kanoa's chest, and you can tell that that contraction stays constant on the way down and the way up. There's no point in this movement where that contraction stops in his chest. Good. Good, get to 10. One more. Good, rest. So, as you can see, Kanoa didn't squeeze his butt on that last rep, right? Good, go ahead, pop up. Good, so this one is actually kind of a high angle, right? So this is almost getting more into a bit of a shoulder press, which is gonna be okay because today we are focusing on a push day. So it's gonna be shoulders, chest, triceps. Normally, if we were focusing on just regular incline bench, we would never be having you guys go this high, just because it's gonna involve your shoulders a lot more than it would be if we were a little bit lower. But because we're focusing on volume and today is push day, we're going back and forth, chest and shoulders. So we got about 20 seconds before we get you back into it. How you feeling so far?
Good.
Yeah, weight feels good?
Yeah, weight feels good.
Good. Good. All right, let's go ahead. We'll start setting up. Good, good. Good, keep those feet flat. 2. Good, keep it up. And so for those of you guys at home, there's 2 ways to spot somebody when they're using dumbbells. You can either spot at the wrists or spot at the elbows. I personally like to spot at the wrists. I feel like it provides a little bit more stability. If you're working with somebody who lifts weights a lot, usually you can just ask them whether they prefer it from the elbows or the wrists. But mostly it's just a matter of preference. Good, keep that core tight. Good, last one. Good, relax. Woo. Good, good.
Yeah.
So that was 3 sets. We have 3 left, right? So we're gonna stay at this incline for 1 more set. I'm gonna give him a minute, and then we're gonna work our way back down before we finish him off, right? I know the volume on this, especially now that we're in our last 3 sets, is gonna really start taking its toll on Kanoa here. Even though it's only 45 pounds, I mean, I'm sure he's starting to feel it.
This one's done.
And if you guys do need to lower the weight throughout the exercise, that's totally fine, right? Just that way, next time you do it, you kind of know where you're at before you get started. Luckily, Kanoa is strong. 45s are cake for him. 15 seconds. All right, so we got about 10 seconds here. Good, 5 seconds. Go ahead and start popping those dumbbells up. Good. 2. Good. Kanoa's doing a good job of breathing through this movement. You notice he breathes in on the way down and exhales as he pushes out. Good. Last one, last one. Woohoo. Good, good. Rest up. You need some water?
No, I'm good.
You good? He doesn't even need water. It's amazing. So, slip those up for him. All right, so we got 2 more sets left. 1 here, and then our last set. We're gonna pop that bench down just a little bit lower. After this, we're gonna move into our superset, right? So our superset is going to be dumbbell lateral raises along with close grip tricep push-ups, right? So those are gonna be great for Kanoa. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. We got about 20 seconds before Kanoa gets back into his set. And like I said, we got Kanoa going every 60 seconds. If you guys need a little bit more time, use up the full 90 seconds. But because he's in such great shape and he's so fit, he only needs 60 seconds. Got all right. 90. So 90 seconds is gonna be the most amount of time that you guys should be taking in between each set. All right, go ahead, let's get this set in. Pop those dumbbells up. Good, good. Good, good. Keeping that core tight, locked in every single rep. Good, good. Squeezing through your butt. Feet stay flat. Attaboy, keep it up. Good, don't lose that 45-degree angle between your arms and your torso. Get 2 more. Good, 1 more. Good, good. And notice, I'm not gonna spot Kanoa until he actually cannot move anymore, right? So once he gets to the point to where those dumbbells aren't moving at all, that's when I'm gonna step in and actually help him out. Other than that, I mean, it doesn't matter how slow the dumbbells are moving, I'm just gonna let him work through it until he gets to 10. I personally hate when people spot me too early. I mean, I know they're just trying to help me out, but yeah. I mean, it's like, it's nice that they care about you, but at the same time, I mean, you know. It's a good question. All right, we got about 10 seconds left. Go ahead, start sitting down. This is gonna be our last set here, all right? And notice his last set's gonna look just like his first set. All right, let's do it, come on. Up, good. Two, good. 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, 3 more. Woo. 1 more. Good, good. Go ahead. Drop those dumbbells, but stay sitting down. So if you guys feel like your shoulders are way more fatigued than your chest, odds are it's probably because when we're benching, we're out here at 90 as opposed to being a little bit more tucked in at 45 degrees, all right? So I know obviously you can't watch yourself when you guys are bench pressing, but that's why it's so important, especially when we're doing stuff like this, to have a spotter. One, so you have a pair of eyes so you can kind of see how you're doing it and if you're doing it correctly. But 2, obviously, safety first, right? So now that we finished up here with our, volume incline bench press, we are gonna finish Kanoa off with close grip tricep push-ups and dumbbell lateral raises, all right? So I'm gonna grab him actually some super light dumbbells. Actually, could you grab some 15-pound dumbbells? Yeah, we can grab 10s, it doesn't matter. So we have 3 sets here. We're gonna do push-ups first, and then we're gonna go right into our dumbbell lateral raises. And just like all of our other supersets, we're only gonna take a break once both of those exercises are completed. No, in all honesty, you don't need a lot of weight for this movement, right? Because as our arms are fully extended, that's gonna be a lot of leverage, a lot of torque on our shoulder, especially with those 10-pound weights. And after those 10 sets of bench press that we just did, including the flat bench and the incline bench. So really 10 pounds is more than enough for Kanoa right now. So I'm gonna have him go ahead, set up. So we're gonna start from the feet up, right? So we're gonna go feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly unlocked. We're always gonna be in an athletic position. Core stays tight, rib cage stays down, and all I'm gonna have him do is I'm just gonna have him raise those dumbbells straight out to the side. Good, good. What I'm really looking for here is that his hands don't really necessarily go above his shoulders. And I want a straight line running from his shoulders, through his elbow, through his wrist. Go ahead, come up. It's about 5 reps. I'm gonna have him do 10 reps here. And I love the fact that he's going slow and controlled. A lot of times we have people trying to use momentum almost like they're flapping their wings, right? To try and get the weight up. At the end of the day, that's not really doing you any favors. We want to be able to control all the weight that we're using. Good, 2 more. Good, 1 more. Good. Now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna set those dumbbells down, and we're gonna go right into close grip tricep push-ups. Good, so they don't necessarily have to be diamond push-ups the way Kanoa's got set up. I really want my hands to just be right underneath my shoulders. Now, if you want to make it a little bit tougher, you're more than welcome to come in a little bit closer. But for this case, all I'm really looking for is those hands right underneath those shoulders. Go ahead, let's get into it. Come on. Good. And he's got a straight line running from his shoulders, hips, knees, all the way down. His core isn't falling at all. And we're going till failure. So he's gonna crank out as many reps as he can right here until he can't do it anymore. And an important thing to note is that he's doing as many reps as he can with perfect form. Once his form starts to fail, we're gonna cut him off. Come on, give me 3 more. Let's go. Good, keep that core tight. Good, give me 1 more, 1 more, 1 more. Attaboy. Good, rest, rest.
Was that 100?
I think I counted about 100 reps there. We can rewatch the tape, we'll count it again. So we're gonna give him about a minute. We're gonna give him a minute rest. So we'll wait. Yeah, we'll go to the 35-second mark, and then we're gonna have him go again. How did the weight feel with the 10s?
The 10s felt good.
10s felt good?
I feel like if I went 15, that'd be cheap.
Okay, perfect. And it's important to be honest with yourself, right? Kanoa's a big guy. Obviously, he walks into the gym, people notice this guy, right? Yeah, people notice this guy, they expect him to lift heavy. It's not always about lifting heavy. It's about lifting with proper, correct form. It's about making sure that we get the most out of each and every single rep. So I'm glad that you said that, actually.
There's a blow to my ego. 10? That's how much my shoe was.
Good, all right, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get into it. Good, remember, set those feet up, shoulder width apart. Athletic stance. Good, good. Good, we're just gonna come right so we're level with our shoulders. Good, 3. Good, make sure you keep breathing through this too. Good, good. Go 8, 9, go 1 more, 10. All right.
Oh.
Now, for those of you guys at home, let's say that you're really stressed out about, you want bigger shoulders, right? Lateral raises, while they are a great exercise to kind of define our shoulders, we're not necessarily gonna be putting on a ton of mass doing our lateral raises. We're gonna be putting on a lot more mass throughout our compound movements. So there's another good reason why we're not necessarily going as heavy as we can with our lateral raises. When it comes to building our muscle, we're really gonna focus on heavy overhead presses, heavy bench presses, heavy incline presses. That's gonna be what really puts the mass on our upper body. This is more just kind of definition. Good, lock everything in. Good. So let's say you guys are completely spent, right? Go ahead. Let's say you guys are completely spent. You're not getting any more reps. You can't even do more than 2 reps. What I'm gonna have you guys do is go ahead, help yourself up so you can go to your knees. Good. Now we're gonna go, and I'm gonna count you down as slow as you can on the way down. Good, as slow as you can. Good, control it, control it, control it. So we're gonna focus on the eccentric portion of the push-up. Good, help yourself back up. Just so you guys can crank out a few more reps. If you guys are completely spent, you can't even get more than 4 or 5 reps. Good, how's that feel?
So I'm working.
Good, let's get 2 more. Good, attaboy. Good, last one here. And notice his form stays perfect. Good. Good, so we're gonna give him about another minute rest and then we're gonna get into it again. And this will be our last set. So we only have 3 sets here, right? So it's important to really push ourselves as hard as we can because after this, donezo.
Extra quarantine weight.
Yeah, that's what it is. Kanoa started this workout very talkative, but now I can barely get a word out of him. He came in this morning so excited. He's like, oh, it's chest day. Good, all right, we still got about 20 seconds left. And so a lot of times, obviously you don't necessarily need to work out or lift in front of a mirror. When it comes to these dumbbell side raises, I personally will really only do them in front of a mirror, just because that way, you know, you can really make sure that you're staying completely level to your shoulders, that you're not cheating those reps. Luckily for Kanoa, he's got me here. He doesn't need a mirror. All right, let's go ahead, let's get into it. Good, good. Good. Good, keep that core tight. Breathe, make sure you're breathing. Good, good. We got 5 more. Two. Good. Good, good. All right, bust out those push-ups. It's a failure. Yeah, what's the over-under? Kanoa gets 10 right now. Let's see it. 10 perfect reps, not 10 garbage reps. There it is. Good. 4, all the way up. Yeah, it's a little bit harder, huh, when you start doing the full reps. 7, oh man. 8, you got 2 more. Oh, come on, 2 more. 2 more. Attaboy. Come on, 2 more. You can't make them laugh. Good, you're done, you're done. Go ahead, pop up. All right, guys. Kanoa just went through the workout. That's all I got for you as far as programmed work for today. If you guys want to throw in some more core work at the end or something like that, please be my guest. But for today's focus, we did our flat barbell bench press, our incline bench press while we're raising the bench up and down, and then we finished off with that lateral raise superset with our close grip push-up. Thank you guys so much for working out, following along. Let me know how you like it. Let me know if you think Kanoa's getting any bigger since he started this whole thing. We're gonna see how he ends up at the end, but that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in.